Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. A little bit of collaboration. Hopeful goodness. It's going to be good. In the form of Hop Butcher for the World. Yeah, son. But not a collaboration with a brewery. Collaboration with a confectioner. Is that how you pronounce it? That would be Frango Mint Chocolates. This is their minted. This is a holiday Imperial Stout brewed with chocolate and Frango mint oil. I'm not going to go into my long drawn out history with mint chocolate. You can go watch my unboxing of this beer if you want, and I go into a little bit, but basically mint chocolates are a really big deal in my household. We were in a confectionery that shall not be named that was also in Chicago, but it was a big thing for my mom. She really enjoyed the mint chocolates, and they're readily available during my household almost year round, but more specifically during the holiday season. Right around this time, just before Thanksgiving leading up to New Year's, they always be around. So it's a flavor profile that I find infinitely delectable. Oddly enough, Hop Butcher has sent this beer previously, and I have not posted it to my channel. I don't know how that is possible, but that is being remedied today. Well, technically tomorrow I'll post it, but we're reviewing it today. Bonus, we actually get to have some of the chocolates alongside. So I'm kind of excited about that. To be perfectly honest with you. Let's just set that back there. We'll save it for the end. Just because I think, chocolates can be very, very overpowering sometimes. Candies can be when next to a beer. It's like if you ever eat something really sweet and then drink your coffee, like eat a sugary donut and drink your coffee, and you're like, my coffee it tastes like it has no sugar in it. That kind of thing going on. So anyway, what's this beer all about? Minted Holiday Imperial Stout, Frango mint oil, brewed with chocolate and Frango mint oil. 10.5% alcohol by volume. No date in the can. Came from Hop Butcher, and they shipped it overnight, so I think it's fresh. They do their typical tasting notes in the back, and it says cool mint, the holidays. I love that as a tasting note, and creamy chocolate. More minty goodness. There's a QR code. I don't know if y'all can scan that and find yourself some more minty goodness. You're more than welcome. And this can is almost sticky. Like it was covered in chocolate, which makes me even more hot and bothered. Anyway, let's dive into the sucker, see what's going on. Yeah, I can't tell you the last time I had a mint candy. You figured with my, past, I don't want to taste it yet, so just rub that little bits in my hands. Past, I'd be something I get on the holiday season, but it's not, man. I'm not gonna have to go out and get some. I have to indulge in this, share with the fam and stuff like that. So I'm super excited. Can wise, typical. Words are hard. Typical Jetsa fantasticalness. The one thing I'm curious about is how this goes as a cube. I'm used to like a little bit more flatter kind of minted chocolate. We'll see what's what, but I dig on that can art as usual. And as far as the beer goes, guess what? That looks like a stout. It's actually got a really, really dark head. When I think of, holiday chocolates, milk chocolate more specifically, you think of something a bit lighter, but that's definitely a rich, deep, dark head. A nice, big, retaining head to it too. It's not kind of dissipating really quick. You hear the word oil, I hear the word oil, my brain immediately jumps to things like coconut, things like that can really kill a head on a beer, and that's not the case here. It could be quite a bit different version of an oil than what I'm thinking, then comes naturally from like a coconut or something like that, but it definitely looks like it's not doing any damage to the beer whatsoever, and it just has this thick, rich, kind of motor oil kind of look to it. See what the nose knows. See, I like that. I really do. Because you're definitely getting mint. You would hope so. Being that that's the big kind of selling point of the beer. You're definitely getting chocolate. But it's all married really, really well with the beer itself. It's not overpowered. It's not just a ton of mint, a ton of chocolate from secondary sources, and the beer is kind of lost in there. You're getting a roasted malt, you're getting a chocolatey kind of maltiness, but you're also getting a chocolate addition with that mint kind of minty, very much that candy, that mint chocolate candy mint. When I think of mint a lot of times, it can go in a couple different directions, a little bit more saccharine, sweety, spearminty, something along the lines of that, or even gum-like. Mint chocolate tends to have a little bit more kind of like, I don't know, it comes off a little bit more herbally, maybe, for me. And that's kind of the way this one's coming off. So you're getting gobs and gobs of equal parts confectionery, chocolate, and mint, along with a nice beer tasticness. Is that something? Is that science? That's a sciencey word that we could use that describes beer. Because we're professionals. We're not, by the way. And by we, I mean me and my oscilloscope. Anyway, yeah, it's big gobs of mint, big chocolate, but you're still getting beer there, so it's just not one-handed. Let's put it that way. I think we should dive in. Cheers, y'all. And the cool part is that it's exactly, it follows through from the nose to the taste as far as impact, not impact, but as far as level of where it's at. So you're getting that mint portion of the show. It's the star of the show. It's supposed to be. Along with a nice big rich chocolate component that just tastes like added chocolate in a positive way, not in a negative way. You can tell you're getting this chocolate from something other than the actual malt of the beer itself. But you're still getting the beer portion of the show. That adds to the chocolate component. There's a nice roastiness to it. It stops short of being anything aggressive like a coffee-like roast. But it almost tastes to me with how sweet it is when the mint kind of accentuates the sweetness. The beer itself is quite sweet. You add that chocolate. Comes off to me like a nice roasty Imperial, Russian Imperial Stout kind of base for this beer, which I think makes all kind of sense in the world. Because if you don't have that countering of that bittering, it's probably a hop combination too, but it's a bittering of roasted malts and a little bit of hops, adds that kind of balance and tempers a little bit of that perception of over sweetness and kind of balances beer out. I think it's absolutely 100% has to be there. And you get this nice kind of bounce back and forth. Again, like I keep saying, the mint is the star of the show here. The chocolate and the mint, but the mint is the star of the show here, as it's supposed to be. But it's not so aggressive to the point where it just mutes everything else about the beer. It makes it not a beer, because that could easily happen. Yeah, no. That's delicious. And honestly, it does very much remind me of the holidays. You know? Like I said, my mom passed away, God, 21 years ago. Holy crap, that is a very... No, 21. I'm bad. 20-ish years ago. And it was just such a... It's weird because you have these kind of memories about, the past and things like that. And, you know, obviously you take a lot of these things for granted until someone's not around any longer. But it's almost like, you know, these little... What's the word I'm looking for? Inconsequential things that you don't think have any kind of weight or memory to it. And then when you dive into something like this and it just kind of helps kind of just shuttle back those memories in your front of your mind, it's a cool experience. And that's, you know, beer is a lot like music in that way. You know, I think beer can help transport you just mentally into different places. And I'm not just talking about like alcohol making you drunk kind of thing. I'm talking about, you know, you share a beer with your father, you have this amazing beer one time a very long time ago and you have it again, and you have things like this which kind of, you know, just kind of prick and prod at these memories that were really, really precious even when you didn't even know they were. And that's the cool part about this beer for me. Now, are you going to have that experience with it? I don't know. Maybe if your family grew up with like mint chocolate in their life like that when it around holiday times, maybe it will. But if it doesn't, you're gonna get a pretty damn tasty beer nonetheless. And a really cool combination of what I would call a probably classic dessert beer. No, not classic because there's adjuncts added, but it's not like desserty in a sense to where it's just pastry on pastry on pastry. Again, kind of reiterating that beer has a purpose and has a big say in how this drinks, but you're drinking something that is a holiday, like beer, and it definitely screams a la holiday, very much like Hardywood Ginger and Stout, those kind of things where, you know, the beer is fantastic in and of itself. It's just added an extra component with that Frango, mint and mint oil and chocolate. It just makes the beer fun. Christmassy, tasty. Does not suck. Let's put it that way. I'm gonna have to eat some of this chocolate too. At least take a small bite of it, because eating on camera is weird. But as far as the beer goes, is it let's go down that road. Is it one of the best mint chocolate beers I've ever had? It's number one, because I don't know if I've ever had a mint chocolate beer before. Is it one of the better There's the road we want to go down. It's one of the better Imperial Stouts that I've had as of late, yes. Mount Rushmore status, maybe not. But there's so many great Imperial Stouts. Now, if we start to whittle it into a more specific category, which I think is fair, is it one of the better holiday beers that I've had as late? Yes. Mount Rushmore status, yes. Holiday beers to me hold, again, another special place in my heart, whether it be, a lot of these, European, Trappist, Belgian dark holiday beers, Christmas beers, these spice beers, the gingerbread stouts, those kind of things. They really, really hit the spot when you're in the mood and you're in that environment. That's where this one's sitting right now. So, yeah, does not suck. So, let's dive into one of these candies. You can smell the mint. I love that you can always smell the mint right through it. Okay. See. Okay. This is good. I'm so used to that layered chocolate with the mint in between from the company we won't name. I expected it to be like almost like a soft, minty, pillowy, like not marshmallow, but you know what I'm talking about, kind of thing inside here. But there's not. It's just minted chocolate, which makes me like this even more, because I thought it was going to be that you break into it. I forget what they're called, but it's almost like they have that softer, marshmallowy center kind of thing. I just assumed that's what this was going to be like. But it's chocolate through and through. Again, eating on camera is weird. It says hot ones. But as far as, I think it's a 3-point conversation to be had here. 4 points, actually. 3 or 4, depending on how you look at it. Is the beer a delicious beer in and of itself? Yes, without a doubt. Is it chocolate delicious mint chocolate? Yes, without a doubt. I was kind of like, you do these kind of reviews. You don't want to be like weird and be like, oh, the beer's good, the chocolate's kind of mediocre or whatever. No. It's been a while since I've had a mint chocolate, and that is making me smile infinitely, so yay. Does the beer remind me of the chocolate when I drink it? Yeah. You can tell there's some kind of relation here. Is it spot on perfect? No, of course. You're drinking beer, you're eating chocolate. It's not going to be like that. But it's very, very reminiscent. Does eating the chocolate while drinking the beer, that's the fourth component, make it more pleasurable? Or is it an experience worth trying? And I think it is. As I said at the beginning, I was going to save the chocolate for the end because I feel like a lot of times chocolate can temper sweetness and kind of make the beer drink a little bit different. I don't think it affects that much. I don't think it's an overtly sweet chocolate to begin with, which is quite nice. I think the mint makes you think it's a little bit sweeter than it is. I think mint always typically does that, at least for me. So you're getting something that's more... It's obviously not baker's chocolate, but you're getting something that is not overtly sweet. So I think it kind of pairs really well with the beer. And you get this cool kind of back and forth between the actual chocolate and the beer itself. It actually is really cool. It's a fun side-by-side, let's put it that way. That was fun. Thank you very much, Jeremiah and Frango, for setting this off. This is a cool flavor combo, man. This is a cool flavor combo, and, like I said, your mileage may vary with the way you reminisce about these flavors. But, for me, absolute home run. Like I said, it's one of the better holiday stouts I've had as of late. Yes, Mount Rushmore stout. Value and availability, Like I said, it's going to be out this weekend. Today's the 1st of November. I think 2nd or 3rd of November is when it's going to hit the Chicagoland area markets. I don't know if it's going to hit Water Distro. Because I even see Hot Butcher for the World in Pennsylvania and a couple different places. So they definitely get out there. I'll leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like Imperial Stouts where you like this, I'm quite sure you would dig it. Maybe some people not so much if they're not into the mint chocolate combination. If you like mint chocolate and you like Imperial Stouts, I think this is really going to do you proper. If you like confectionery, pastry, dessert-like stouts, yes. And, you know, if you grew up that mint household, man, mint chocolate does not suck. Hot Butcher and Frango. Have you been to Hot Butcher? Have you been to any of their spots? Have you had a bunch of their beers? Have you had this beer? Have you had this beer over the years in... Can you tell the difference? What's your favorite Hot Butcher beer? What's your favorite mint chocolate? Is it Frango? Who may it be? Have you been to Frango? Have you been... Do they have a spot that you can go to in Chicago now? Have you had them back in the day? All that fun stuff. I need to know these things. All that fun stuff down there. So there you go. Reviewing the books. Hopefully all enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Holly Stout goodness right now. Hope we'll see you next time. Cheers, y'all.